What's up everybody, GundamFlexing here. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the just completed MS-14JG Gelgoog Jager mass production type mobile suit for sniper use. And as tradition, before we go into the kit, I want to go over very briefly the extra PC caps, the extra piece, and the decal sheet. Here are the extra PC caps. You get a pair of N's, get a pair of M's, you have one L, and one G at the very top. And that's it. So this is definitely going to go into my extra PC cap bag. For the extra piece, you have a left hand open fist piece. Now this is because he does not come with any sabers. So I was expecting maybe a pair of sabers, but no. He's only given the sniper rifle as the only external weapon system, as the internal weapon systems are the cannons in his arm and in his head. And here is the decal sheet. So on the top you see 522. You're given an option for 522 or 523, which is placed on his chest and this behind the rifle. You're also given the Special Forces insignia, the letter D, which goes on his left shoulder right there. And then finally you see this black piece here. That is actually for his face mask, his visor, and that will be in there. And that's it. So nothing really, not much left over for this kit. If we look at the Jaeger itself, let's move the rifle and look at his head. Here's his head, and inside, which is a great delight, is his mono eye is actually a transparent piece. But because the opening for his face is so small, you won't be able to see it unless if you really focus on it. And in regards to the face mask, the black one that goes in the back, they don't give you enough slack, so there will be a tad bit of paint left over. But because the opening here is so small, it doesn't matter, so you don't really have to worry about that. He technically has a fin in the back and a single horn. I use panel lining to hit his cannons in his head to make it stand out more. Now the colors here along the bottom, the gray piece here, that doesn't inhibit his ability to turn left or right. You can even turn this thing full 360 if you wanted to. Fits very snug and such. Let's look at his backpack. His backpack, just like it was advertised in the box art, comes with a lot of thrusters. So we have two thrusters at the top, we have an antenna, we have two thrusters facing the back, we have three thrusters facing the bottom, and we also have two fuel tanks right here. These are just two pieces in and of itself, and you just push them into his back as such. What I really like is this antenna. It's a tad bit long. Be careful when you put it into the hole, it might snap in half. It's actually very snug in there. If we look at his chest, again we have the 523 right there, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter what number you use. As a matter of fact, you really don't even have to use a number. I just placed it on there, and I placed it a tad bit lower than what was on the box art. Here we look at his waist. His waist can have him twist and turn to the left or right. Ooh, accidentally pushed out a little thruster on his top. But again, you can twist to the left or to the right. No issues there. You can see the lining down his waist, and I actually panel lined that right there simply to make it stand out some more. The white circle in his center is actually a piece, and that's part of the waist. So technically his waist is two pieces. You have the front piece, and then you have the back piece behind the backpack. Looking at his skirt, the front skirts, these were pretty interesting, at least to put in. So traditionally most skirts you just plate them in through a hanger here and you just snap it inside. This one you actually have to angle it as such like this and then pull it through, and then you can place it down. It took me forever to figure that out because the skirt pieces is essentially two. It's the front part here, and then you have the back part here. and if you don't do it properly, it will not fit together. So again, just read the instructions carefully on how to insert the skirt. It's not like the other builds where you just snap it in there. You have to come in at an angle, pull it through, and then push it down, and then you won't have any issues. Here are his side skirts, right there. And this is his back skirt, which is static. You have two gray pieces at the top here. They look like thrusters, not really sure what they are, and I'm pretty sure the bottom two here, the double stack, are thrusters itself. And again, as advertised in the box art, this guy is just laced with thrusters. He's supposed to be a high performance mobile suit. So underneath his skirt, you could see 5 thrusters right there. Yeah, try to get a good angle on that. And that goes underneath his skirt, and it fits very nicely in there. Essentially, it's just 2 pieces. You have the PC cap, then you have the holder, and then you have the 5 individual thrusters right there. His legs are connected to a waist through a ball joint right there, and right in there. Once you snap it in there, it's actually very difficult to snap it back out, and that's a plus and a minus. A minus if you messed up and you have to take the legs back out. Trust me, it sort of sucks. You don't want to pull too hard, or that would happen, or you don't want to, but at the same time, you don't want any minor force to just easily take out his legs. What's interesting is that this center piece down at the center is where my thumb's at, is actually a separate piece. So it's just the small details that this kit has. If his legs open far enough, you can even see the thrusters in the back. His legs, sort of like the other Zaku 2s, the skirt wise. His kneecaps are a separate piece. We look at the back, nothing super detailed, it's just very flushed and very smooth. But if we look underneath, look at his feet, there are 2 thrusters, 1 for each feet. And unfortunately, these thrusters are not individual pieces. This entire portion, where my thumb is rubbing, is actually a single piece for the bottom of his feet. And if we look just deep enough, you can see the additional, right there, you can see the additional thrusters. So what's cool about this is, yes, it comes with a lot of thrusters. It really drives home the idea that this thing is a high performance, sports car like, super thruster, super fast mobile suit. The downside is that these 2 thrusters here, and by the way there's 3 each for each leg, is so far in there is that you really can't see it, or as the viewer, if you don't know about this specific model, you would have no idea that these things even existed. It's just something cool to know you have, but as far as like visually, it's so far in there that you don't know. It's like, I wish it was stick out a little bit farther around here, around the ring. Yeah, again, these things are so far in there, you just won't know. Like, you simply won't know. As compared to the ones behind his back skirt, yes, you would know if the legs are spread far enough or whatever posing you're doing. But these are just so far in there, it's just really a waste of the potential. His feet comes in several pieces. You have the gray piece here, and then this outer lining, this light pink outer lining. I don't know if it's pink, it's like rose red. It's a single piece, and then you have the dark violet red, and that's a single piece. And again, there's no issue with mobility, not with this kit. This is on a ball joint here. The legs here are also connected to a ball joint, and as you've seen when the knee separated, this is connected as such through a single pillar, and that's actually very easy to put in. Right there. We look at his arms and his, well, let's first look at the weapon system. Here, this is really his only external weapon system, and it's the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle comes in several pieces. You have the main body, and then you have the other side of the main body, so the left side of the main body, and then the right side of the main body. You have the muzzle here, which unfortunately is much smaller than the picture alluded, but it's still pretty cool. And you also have the scope, which is 2 pieces. So the first piece is actually attached to one side of the body, and then the top piece, or the other piece, is an actual separate piece. It's a very detailed rifle, very easy to build. You won't even see that many number removal marks or any scarring. One thing I would really think that this specific weapon lacks is the scope. So you see here, the scope is not a single piece, it's just a regular defaulted in there. It's not even a transparent piece. Unlike the Zaku Sniper Type 1, which has a green piece in there, or at least a sticker, I can't remember. But at least I wish they gave us the option to put in a sticker, because if it is a sniper rifle and the scope is what identifies it as part of a sniper rifle. His hand here is 3 pieces. You have the back hand here, you have the 4 fingers to include the trigger finger through the well, and then you have the palm. And that fits very snugly into his arm. His other hand piece here, this is it. He really only comes with 3 hands. The trigger hand, his open hand, and again the left open fist. And his left hand is specifically designed, at least the one you see on the video, is to hold his rifle as such. And that's it. So you can't interchange the fists, or you can't interchange the hands. You could only have the right trigger hand and the left hold hand, or the left closed fists. There it is. As for his cannons on his hands, here they are. This will look at this one. Really, this is a single gray piece that was in PC Runner C. Cut it out, you put it in there, and then you put the cover on it. Very simple, nothing super spectacular. There, I panel lined the top portion. I even panel lined some of the little rectangular openings into his hand. They're on the side here. We look at his shoulders. His shoulders is actually separate from the rest of his hands. So technically these are like his shoulder guards, because his shoulders, his real shoulders, are ball joints where my finger's at. So his shoulder guard, he has his Special Forces insignia. He has additional pieces on his front here, which I'm assuming are something like exhausts. And then he has his side piece here, where you can see I panel line, small details count, here, and then nothing in his back. What I do like about his shoulder guards is that there are also small openings here, right here. You could go ahead and panel line. You could just drop a couple colors in there, make it stand out. There, and it's super simple, very easy. And he has the same in the back, right here where my thumb's at. Right here where my thumb's at. And it's super easy. What's also pretty cool about this detailed model is that if you look at the bottom of his chest here, let's not try to bump the camera. Here you can tell that there are exhaust vents all over. Yep, even in the side. Right under here where my thumb's at, there's also exhaust ports there. So he's supposed to be super fast, super speedy. Yeah, there we go. Let's put him in a pretty cool pose. Right, down. So, for the GundamFlexing score, let's go over the design. The design, I would give this a 4 out of 5. It's simple, but at the same time it's unique. He has 2 fins, or 1 horn, a fin in the back. He has a ton of exhausts. He's a high performance, sports-like mobile suit. So I think that's pretty cool. So for the details, again, I would give that a 4 out of 5. I think this kit, despite coming out in the mid-2000s, is pretty detailed. I even like the fact that you get pieces for your kneecaps, even the top of the foot, a ton of exhausts and thrusters. And I think that's really unique. I even like the cannons on the side of his hands, and if you use the panel lining, I also like the cannons on his head. Make it stand out a little more. The build, nothing spectacular or spectacularly difficult about the build, and that goes for a very straightforward score of 4 out of 5. The price is also very straightforward, 4 out of 5. I wouldn't recommend you getting this kit for $17. Most high-grade kits I get are roughly around $13 to $15. That includes shipping and handling. Now for the posing, I would give that a 3 out of 5. Now don't misinterpret me. Don't misinterpret the score. I think that this specific model is designed, and I think it'll be much better than if you were to put him on one of the posing scales. But I think what it really lacks is the variety opposing ability, because he doesn't come with any sabers. He doesn't come with a shield either. So really the only way you can pose him is with 3 hands and with a single sniper rifle, unless if you want to go for this, forego the sniper rifle and just use his gun cannons in his hands. But I don't think the posing options is very strong with this kit, simply because he only has 1 weapon system. If he was given anything else or something more, like I don't know, like dual sabers or even a shield, then yeah, I would definitely increase the posing score. So overall, it has a GundamFlexing score of 0.76 to tie with the Goat flight type. Not bad for the second kit that received a score. That's all I have for this specific kit. If you have any questions or comments, just put them down in the section below and I'll get right to them. I appreciate you all for watching, and keep your eyes out for the next Gunpla video. Peace out, guys.